Good morning to one Huda. Today our group choose the company is a telecom company. So before we are the present, we are the introduce ourselves. So my name is technically Dr. SUKUMAR. My metric number is 01 DPM 20F2013. So our group members are Farah, Eliesya and also DPB30083. So now I explain about the background of the company TM. So Telecom Malaysia is the country's leading telecommunication company. So it roots date to the early 20th century, who Malaysia's postal and telegraph services were incorporated by British colonies. TM is the dominant provider of the fixed telephone services and has more than 90% share of the fixed broadband market with the product Stream and Unify. So it plans introduce 4G broadband services after requiring a majority stake in a local wireless broadband provider Packet One network in 2014.
My name is Divyasree, daughter of James, and my metric number is 01 DPM 20F2004. Now I'll be talking about the board directors of Telecom Malaysia. In the first place, we have our chairman, which is Tan Sri Muhammad Azlan Hashim, which is non-independent and non-executive chairman of Telecom Malaysia. Secondly, we have Imri Mokhtar, which is managing director and group chief executive officer of Telecom Malaysia. Now we are going to see the non-independent and non-executive director of Telecom Malaysia. In the first place, we have Anis Rizana Muhammad Zainuddin at Muhammad Zainuddin. Secondly, we have Dato Muhammad Nazri Saliluddin. And thirdly, we have Muhammad Afzal Abdul Rahman as non-independent and non-executive director of Telecom Malaysia. Now we will see the senior independent director and independent non-executive director of Telecom Malaysia. In the first place, we have Tunku Hafida Tunku Dato A. Malik as senior independent director of Telecom Malaysia. In the next place, we have Balasingham A. Nama Sivayam as independent non-executive director. Thirdly, we have Hisham Zainal Mokhtar as independent and non-executive director. And lastly, we have Sahindran Sundran as independent and non-executive director of Telecom Malaysia. So in this slide, we have Dato Siti Zawiya Muhammad Desa as a independent and non-executive director of Telecom Malaysia. Second, we have Rozana Aniza Ahmad Rashid as independent and non-executive director. And lastly, we have Izzat Jeffrey Ismail as non-independent and non-executive alternate director of Telecom Malaysia. So in total, we have 12 members in the board of directors of Telecom Malaysia. So now I'll be talking about the roles of chairman and CEO, which is Chief Executive Officer of Telecom Malaysia. First of all, I will be talking about the roles of chairman. So in the first point is provides leadership to the board. Chairman will be providing leadership to the board by helping the board members fulfill the goals it fulfilled by assigning a specific tasks to members of the board. Secondly, we have maintains an effective communication policy. Chairman will be maintaining an effective communication policy with the executive directors that enables both board and management communication effectively with the shareholders, stakeholders, and the public generally. So the next point is ensures proper flow of information to the board. Chairman will ensure proper flow of information to the board, reviewing agency and timing of documentation in support of management's proposal. In addition, the chairman organizes and presents the agenda for regular special board meetings based on input from directors and ensure that all relevant issues are on the agenda. Next, we'll be moving on to provides reasonable time discussion at the meeting. So chairman will be providing a reasonable time for discussion at the meeting. Furthermore, the chairman should encourage a healthy debate on the issue and bring to the board objectivity and independence in the deliberation. Lastly, we have as liaison between the board and management. So chairman will be acting as a liaison between the board and management and carries out other duties as requested by the board as a whole, depending on need and circumstances. So now I'll be talking about the roles of CEO, which is Chief Executive Officer. So in the first place, we have develop and recommend to the board annual business plans and budgets. As a CEO, they will develop and recommend to the board annual business plans and budgets that support the company's long-term strategy and vision that lead to the creation of shareholders' value. Secondly, we have meet regularly with the board members. As a chairman, they should be meet regularly with the board with the due notices of issues to be discussed and should record their conclusion in discharging their duties and responsibilities. As the third role, we have ensure that the company has effective management system. The CEO of the company should ensure that the company has an effective management team and has an active plan for the development and succession. Fourthly, we have foster a positive corporate culture. As a CEO, the CEO should foster a positive corporate culture that promotes ethical practices, encourage individual integrity, and fulfill social responsibility to attract, retain, and motivate a diverse group of top quality employees at all levels. Lastly, we have serve as chief spokesperson for the company.
Now I will explain about the telecom employee representation on the board. So TM have many categories of the officer. Okay, the first officer name is Imri Mokhtar. So his position is Group Chief Executive Officer. The second officer is Muhammad Tajul Muhammad Sultan. His position is Chief Network Officer. And the third officer is Azmi Nisa Ramlan. So her position is Chief Information Officer TM. Okay, the next officer is Shazwati and Abdul Karim. So her position is Executive President of TM. So the next officer of TM is TRPS Azizi Hari. So his position is Chief Operating Office TM. So they are the officer of the TM.
Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Farah Eliesya binti LOCKMAN and my matches number is 01 DPM 20F2009. I will be presenting about the stakeholders of the company, and the company that I do is TM. So first is employees. So in TM, employees rely on TM for their livelihood and also careers, while their skills and efforts are the key to executing business objectives. Next is customers. So customers, they more depend on TM's network, products, and also services for their daily lives, while their purchases and subscriptions directly impact business performance, such as TM is well known for their Wi-Fi. So for me, example, I use TM, I use Unify. So that is one of the main examples for us, like to subscribe to their TM Unify account. And for the next one is that shareholders and investment communities. So shareholders and investors supply the financial capital needed for telco growth, and they expect maximize financial returns. So now I will be moving on to the next slide. So the fourth is the government and regulators. So this one, they allow TM to legally operate while also collecting taxes that contribute to national development. And then we have suppliers. So suppliers, they depend on TM for revenue generation and ongoing income, while providing products and services for TM's business growth. Then we have also media. So media is really important. The media, they relies on TM to share all the factual important information, which they then circulate to help shape TM's corporate image and reputation. So for the next one is we have communities. So communities are more directly and indirectly impacted by the TM's operation and may either provide support or opposition to the businesses. And then for the next after communities, we have business partners. So business partners is also one of the main stakeholders of TM. So business partners, they work with TM to provide mutually beneficial and professional support to the respective businesses. And the last one is, of course, unions. So unions, they more collectively bargain with TM itself on behalf of its members, which help also TM balance the need of its labor workers. Okay, so now I will be explaining about the CSR activities of telecom. But before we get any further, I want to explain you guys about the meaning of CSR. So CSR, or corporate social responsibility, is the concept of businesses that has a responsibility to do good. CSR means that a company should self-regulate its actions and be socially accountability to its customers, stakeholders, and the world at large. And the key idea behind CSR is for corporations to pursue other pro-social objectives, in addition to also maximize profits. So, for instance, of common CSR is objectives include minimizing environmental externalities, promoting volunteerism among company employees, and also donating to charity. Okay, so now I will be talking about the CSR activities of telecom and what have they done to serve to the communities. So firstly is that we have teaching local fishermen on how to farm corals and also preserve marine life in Pulau Bidong. So on Pulau Bidong, an untouched island which is at Terengganu coast, TM is part of the Corals Malaysia Incubator Program. So that program is to restore coral reefs and preserve the marine ecosystem. They propagate new corals before returning them to the sea. So what's great is about TM is that they involves local fishermen in this initiative and also giving them an extra source of income, especially during the season monsoon, uh, when they can't go out to fish. So this program also increases public awareness of marine conservation and also helps them to boost the aqua tourism in Malaysia. Next point is that TM also sponsored young Malaysians in university scholarship. So MMU, or Multimedia University, is established and owned by TM itself, and it is one of the country's premier universities that trains up future leaders for the digital era. So with an emphasis on STEM subjects, MMU, they equips this generation to keep up with Industrial Revolution 4.0. And since 1994, TM through Yayasan TM has given out over 500 million in scholarships to more than 15,000 students, helping them achieve their dreams while supplying the Malaysian workforce with quality talent. Okay, for the third point is that they're helping single mothers and women's entrepreneurs to boost up their business. Okay, so as part of their entrepreneurship CSR initiative, TM helps single mothers, for example, in Pahang and Kelantan with the entrepreneurship training through program Sejahtera, while program Usahawan Wanita, or PUW, gives women entrepreneurs access to digital solutions to improve their businesses and marketing. So these women, they train in basic businesses skills like bookkeeping, as well as online business skills like Facebook marketing and Instagram marketing, also TikTok. So recently, TM also they assisted a group of entrepreneurs from Kampung Tu in Johor, and they established a cooperative business to market their local products such as traditional foods and souvenirs, and also skincares and more. So the program also aims to improve and enhance the local economy and create more job opportunities for the youth at the village. Next one is about encouraging their employees to reuse straws and cutlery. So this one maybe people they don't think is important, but it is very important, and TM always care about sustainability, because nowadays Earth is getting more worse about people's actions, and it's not like taking care enough. So if you see TM employees walking around with these cute pouches, it's because TM recently they came up with the idea of their own set of reusable metal straws and also cutlery. So as a whole, TM strives to be a sustainable company, from practicing proper energy management to encouraging employees to reduce single-use plastic. And they also champion an external recycling activities such as Clean as You Go campaign. And for the last point is about training volunteers to provide disaster relief during floods, rebuilding homes, and more. So TM Rovers specifically, which means reaching out volunteers, are TM staff volunteers who participate in various CSR programs, including aiding during disaster, training students, and more. So they are heart and core of TM CSR efforts, and because they are the ones involved in most of on the groundwork of the groundwork. Okay, so that is all for me. Now I will be passing to my friend.
Next, I will present about the ethical issues of the corporate governance in Malaysia. Firstly, Malaysia faces the following challenges of ethical issues in corporate governance, such as the government's level of equity ownership remains large, free float remains low, and directors' accountability and protection for minority shareholders need a further improvement. In addition, the role of the institutional investors and shareholders activities in the corporate governance framework needs to be strengthened. Okay, what happened to the next? When free float is low, a stock with a small flow will generally be more volatile than also stock with a large debt. This is because with fewer shares available, it may be harder to find a buyer or seller. So, this results in a larger spreads and often lower volume. Okay, the next point is the importance of the corporate governance for an organizational success has been a topic discussed across. However, even though organizational keep in the mind of the principles, the organizations different models and all the aspects of the good governance, there is always scope for the error, and that is why issues in the corporate governance are in the abundance, especially accountability issues. By now, we know how important accountability and also transparency is in corporate governance. For instance, choosing the right board and handling of the independent directors are the steps that could take against potential issues that you may have to face. Okay, the last point is why should we protect minority shareholders? Because when you have a strong protection for the interests of minority shareholders, then more people are willing to invest money in the stock market. As a result, what you get is a larger stock market with more turnover and higher capitalism or more dynamism. So this is the 4 points ethical issues. So that's all from us. So thank you.